Hello, friends. Here's chapter 32, negativity bias. More information about our brain, which is so powerful in keeping us moving forward, that we can create the life we want because we're learning how to overcome things that are stopping us from becoming our best selves. Okay, so here is information about negativity bias. Now, this is part of our brain that is wired to pay attention to negative information. Good to know, right? So back in the days of the primitive times, it was needed to keep them safe. So for example, let's say they were going to build a fire. And so they go to gather sticks and they pick up a stick, and one of them is actually a snake that looks like a stick. And so the brain is just like, oh no, danger. And it created like this negativity bias. So anytime you go looking for sticks, now the brain's like, oh no, what if it's a snake? Maybe you're going to pay more attention, right? So that's just a part of us. It's built in. That's why it's hard to stop this negativity sometimes. And it's why our brain goes to worst case scenario. Isn't that good to know that, yeah, brain's just doing what it's supposed to do. And instead of listening and obeying, you can figure out how to work through whatever your brain's telling you. Okay, so here's an example. I saw this. I love this. It's like, here's all this good stuff, but over here's the one thing bad. And it's just like, nope, your brain's so focused on this part that it's not noticing the good. And that's why, because it's in negative bias. It's negative. Yeah, it's a negativity bias. Okay. So worst case scenario, it happens all the time. Your kid gets their driver's license. It's like, oh no, what if they crash? What if they're in a bad accident? What if this? What if that? Kids are getting ready to start school again. Oh no, what if they have a bad teacher? What if this? What if that? You're trying to eat good food. But oh no, you have a party to go to. And anytime you've gone before, it's hard to say no to this stuff that's not good for you. And so the brain just is constantly going to, oh no, worst case scenario. When I went to Hawaii in last May, I don't love airplanes flying over water. And my brain was like, danger. What if you crash? Then you're trapped on the plane, you will drown, which is two things I like. I'm a little bit claustrophobic, and I think it would be terrible to die drowning. And so my brain was very concerned for my well-being, and there was some things I needed to work through so that I could go on that plane and make it to Hawaii. So it's totally possible to work through the negativity bias and to figure out what it is that we can do to be better and not stuck on what our brain thinks is so bad and so dangerous for us. Okay, so we know that it's built in, and that's why it's hard to stop. And this is where it helps to do that thought download, to be aware of the thoughts that you are telling yourself. And it's stepping outside of yourself and saying, wait, is that true? Is that possible? Why am I choosing to believe this? Why am I making this a problem? Like if I would have focused on that airplane crashing all the time, I wouldn't have gone. I would have canceled. But it's just like, nope, planes don't crash in water very often. I even called a friend that works at the airline. She reassured me that they have autopilots that usually can get the plane safely where you're going. So I went through all the worst case scenarios in my brain of what could happen and reassured myself that nope, it's not really a problem. It'll be okay. So when you start noticing that this is what your brain is doing, you can override it and have some compassion with yourself and use that curiosity. Oh, I hear you, brain, but nothing's gone wrong here. Why are you making this such a big deal? So let's say your boss tells you 5 good things and 1 thing you need to work on. It's like, cool. Now I know what I need to work on, instead of, oh, great. Now I'm not going to get the promotion I wanted. He's probably thinking I can't really do the job. And anyway, just how that brain goes down that rabbit hole to worst case scenario is learning to stop and notice that what we're telling ourselves is not true. So question your thoughts. All right. So you need to put effort into looking at the bright side of things. Positive distractions are good. It's not avoiding the situation. It's a good way to redirect this negative thinking to work through it. Okay. So it's practicing gratitude. That's one thing that can help, is noticing all the good that has happened when your brain is thinking everything's terrible and everything's gone wrong. And it's celebrating your wins. A lot of times when I ask people what was good this week and they say nothing, but then they start talking and it's just all of a sudden I've got like, here's 10 things you did that was so good. But the brain overlooks that when we're stuck focusing on the negative. So it's redirecting it that, wait, I did do these things. And practice expecting the good instead of assuming the worst. So when you go to worst case scenario, it's just like, I hear you, brain, but what if this isn't true? Again, asking those questions. What if this happens instead? And to focus on the good. All right. And then just your positive affirmations, just telling yourself, yep, I am capable. I am good enough. Whatever it is that you've chosen to tell yourself, focus on those, and it will help you to get out of the negativity being stuck part. Okay. So here's more information to help you create healthy habits for your life, because we don't want to stay stuck with worst case scenario. It prevents us from moving forward. And here's some ways that you can get out. So you're going to notice what your brain's doing and know that you can override it. All right, my friends, you got this. Bye.